Hi, this is Avar from Scrappy Mania, and today I want to create some archival mist. Now, I've been wanting to recycle newspaper, and I want to use it on my scrapbook layouts. And I was thinking about these will make adorable flowers, so I wanted to create some flowers with this new print. However, you know that newspaper is very acidic. And you really don't want to have this newsprint to touch your pages because it will deteriorate your pages and also your photo by this being close to it. So an archival mist is very expensive. This one, I bought it like $9 and it's a small little bottle. So if I do a lot of flowers, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get much out of this little container. So I went on the internet and found this website in ancestry.com. And in here they had a recipe to how to deacidify your paper. And what you basically do is you mix some milk and magnesium, and you mix it with club soda, and you refrigerate this mixture overnight for 8 hours in the refrigerator. And then you soak all your papers with this solution for at least an hour. And then you dry your paper. And after you've done that process, then all your papers will be acid free. So I got a lot of news clipping. I'm going to go ahead and do my mixture. And I'll put the link for the website that I found it. So according to the recipe, you need 2 tablespoons of milk and magnesium per 1 quart of club soda. So this is 2 quarts of club soda, so I need 4 tablespoons of milk and magnesium. And milk and magnesium is very cheap. I got the Walgreens brand, and this was $4.99. And this was 79 cents at Bash's. So it's very economical, and look all that you get. So for about $6 with tax. And this is $9 with tax, so very economical. I should not have shaken it. Okay, so if you shake your bottle cautiously, very cautiously, you're gonna unscrew it. Okay. Now this has 4 tablespoons, so I'm going to mix 1 whole big cup of this. Let me clean up a little bit. So I'm going to take 1 full cup of this, or capful of this. Okay. So here's 4 tablespoons, and then I'm going to, little by little, oops, so you can see. I'm sorry that I was kind of obscuring the view. Okay. Then you're going to go ahead and put the cap on this. And I don't recommend that you shake it. I think we're just going to leave it alone. Put the cap. I'm going to put this in the refrigerator with a sign saying do not drink. And then you can, you need at least minimum 8 hours for this to kind of cure. But I'm going to leave it overnight. And then tomorrow, I'm going to go ahead and soak all my papers for an hour with this solution. So I left this overnight. So it's been in cooling in my refrigerator for about, I would say 10 hours or so. So now the next step is to take your newspaper, and I cut it single sheet. So I go ahead and take you just take your newspaper and figure which one do you want. This one has a lot of colors, so I might want to use this one. And what you do is you basically just cut it single sheet. This one I think will look very nice as flowers. So I'm just going to cut it. And I already cut a bunch and got them ready. I'm going to put these away. Now you're going to take a bucket, and before we put the newspaper in there, you're just going to dump your mixture into the bucket. And then you're going to take your sheets and you're just going to put it in there, and you need to soak them for an hour in this solution. Okay, so we're going to leave it in here for an hour, and then we'll come back and you need to dry it off or put it outside in the sun to dry. So I'll be back. Okay, so it's been an hour since it's been soaking, so now what you need to do is carefully going to remove it from the water. Make sure you don't break it. And just lay it on paper towel, but actually I'm going to lay it on these sheets right here. These are Shamu or Walmu or whatever they call it, that really absorbs the water. So that's where I'm going to lay it. And I'm not going to separate them right now. I just want to lay them flat, and then later I'll go ahead and separate them. And see how it tears pretty easily? So you have to be careful when you remove it. And then I'm going to lay some towels on top. These are some old kitchen towels to help it absorb the water. And then we're going to go ahead and put another layer on top of that. So then I created a second layer, and you're just going to put all your newsprint on layers of towel. Then some you can elect to dry on a dry rack like I have here. And it was raining where I'm at, so I had to put it in my craft room. There was no sun to put it outside, but you can use the sun to allow it to dry. And then some of it I wanted to just start using it immediately. And as you can see there, I used my iron. And when you use your iron, they actually come out a lot better because they flatten out. When you air dry it, there's always some wrinkles on it. But with an iron, you really get it nice and flat. Okay, so I finished drying all my papers, and here I'm going to store it in here. So this is where I'm going to keep all these papers. And they came out pretty nice. And I like the texture of the paper. These will make great flowers. You can cut these up and put them on for mixed media for your journals. I even left these little pieces because I can cut that up and put in my journal. And I've been playing with it, so I'm going to keep this in here. So this is my paper that I deacidified, and it's ready to use on layouts. And then I cut some strips, as you can see here. So what I've been doing is I cut some strips. And I've shown you tutorials in the past of how I create these rose flowers. So I cut some strips and I painted them before. So here's one of my flowers that I rolled with the strips. And then this is with the Tatter Rose from Alterations, Tim Holtz dye. So I took some of these flowers and I just created a bud with the smaller one. And then I just started layering the petals or the different flowers and used my hot glue gun. And this is the same thing. This time, that one I just used a smaller flower and I created a bud in the center. And then the other ones, the last ones was doing, I made it using the technique of cutting a square and then using your decal scissors to cut a circle. And then out of the circle you cut a spiral, a very long spiral. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube of how to do this. But basically you just cut, when you cut the spiral, you take some type of quilling tool. And this quilling tool is actually from McGill. And it's a very long, it has a very long slit. And you put your flower in there and you just twirl it. And then you just let it uncoil at the end. So that's how I created those. And these are all the flowers that I created using newsprint. And I hope you like this tutorial, and thank you for watching. Bye now.